Hey all, here OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of a very interesting detachable wireless Qi-enabled power bank. So as you can see here, it basically squishes into this docking station that can charge it up, and this docking station is plugged into the wall, so it also acts as a charging hub. So you can plug in USB chargers for charging your phone at the office or at the home, and also now charges up the power bank as well. And once it's docked, you have up to 4 USB ports to charge your devices, and both the hub and the power bank have Qi charging contacts. So this modular hub supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. We've got an LED display that can show you some quick status. In addition, there is a 5,000 milliamp hour capacity for the power bank itself. That's decent, but a little bit on the smaller side. Some of its competitors are around 10,000 milliamp hours these days. Inside, we have just the power cable for the hub component that plugs into the wall, and then we have just the hub and the power bank inserted together. So from afar, you really can't tell that it's something a little bit different from your typical power station or power hub. Still uses the same standard power outlet, and again, that's the Qi contact for resting your phone on top for wireless charging as a dock. And then here is the power bank. It's basically spring loaded, so you can press down on it and it just pops down like so. Pretty easy to pop in and pop out, and it basically charges using these pogo contact points when you slide it into the charging dock, which is pretty cool. Stays flush, and again adds 2 more USB ports for pass-through charging. In terms of the ports here, one of them is the Quick Charge 3.0, the blue. The orange here is actually a slower 5V 1 amp. On the power bank, one port is also 5V 1 amp, and the second is 5V 2 amps. You can also use micro USB to charge it up if you don't want to use the hub. There's a standard port. The power bank itself is made out of a polycarbonate plastic and feels reasonably lightweight. We just have, again, the Qi wireless charging contact, and there's also a touch capacitive key that you can tap on once to bring the screen onto life to see how much percentage of the juice is remaining. So it will be lying flat like this just because it has that wireless charging component that you need to set a phone onto. That means it does take up a little bit more space than some of the other power hubs and power stations we've seen with 4 ports. Those tend to be a bit more compact and small, but that's a trade-off of having this modular design as well as that wireless charging feature. Here we have it plugged into power. Right now it's not displaying any charge at all, so 0 amps. But if we say use the wireless Qi pad here and set a phone down on it, you can see it immediately starts, and it tells us specifically right now it's 0.8 amps, and we're using the wireless Qi, and it's actually using the quick charge mode. So hopefully it's going to start charging a little bit more in a moment here, but you can see the phone has popped onto life. And now we are at 2.4 amps and hovering around that space. Using the quick charge wireless Qi pad, it will charge up an average Android smartphone in under an hour and a half. So that's actually pretty impressive, much faster than past generations of Qi wireless chargers. Also works with TWS wireless earbuds that have Qi enabled on the battery cases, as you can see there, fully working. Of course, the charging rate will be a little bit slower for a smaller earbud because it doesn't allow as much power input, but overall you can see it's still fully functional. And by the way, the power bank also has a small LED light which will glow red when it's being charged inside itself. Now if we use the Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 port, that's going to give us the fastest charging rate, and now we are using port number 1, and again it will start to quickly charge up this smartphone over here. The only thing I'd say is I do wish all of the ports would be Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 enabled. I realize the cost might be a little bit higher, but I think that's something most folks would be willing to pay just to have some added convenience and perhaps faster performance from charging multiple devices if that's a phone and a tablet. Because again, one of the other ports will give you slower charging rates of only 1 amp. Just like the majority of power banks though, what you don't get is the amps, which is only displayed on the power station itself. But overall, it still gives you sufficient information to see how much juice is remaining in your power bank. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of this very interesting modular or detachable power bank slash charging hub, which is a very fully featured all-in-one product. It's a pretty clever design, especially this modular slide-out power bank. The value of a power bank that has Qi plus a Qi-enabled power hub 2-in-1 is actually cheaper than buying 2 of those devices separately. So if you're interested, you can check it out in the links down below. At the moment, it's still a Kickstarter campaign, but it's nearing its completion stage. They've already met their goal, so it'll be hitting the market very soon, probably also on Amazon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been this interesting 2-in-1 modular Qi-enabled power station.